Today on the channel, my spider sense is tingling as I open up the new Marvel Legends Retro Spider-Man wave. Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are unboxing Marvel Legends, the new Retro Spider-Man wave. These figures have been out for a couple of months now. I've been playing a little bit of the long game. I picked these all up as they hit. I believe it was the August reset of 2020, of course. The August reset timing of when these first started hitting the stores. However, there's two Fan Central exclusives that are only available to hobby shops and online retailers. I wanted to unbox this whole wave together, so I had to play the long game, wait on those two. Well, if you guys have been following my figure hunting videos, I did find Mysterio at Books A Million. And then at a local Des Moines area hobby shop, JCD and Hobby, I picked up the Kingpin this week, completing my set. Now is the time we open them all up, and that's what we're going to do. And we're going to do it like we normally do it. We're going to go one by one, talk about them all, and then wrap it up all at the end and discuss. So the cool thing about these is the packaging, of course. Throwback packaging, very similar. We've had this with the X-Men. We're going to see this soon with the Fantastic Four, the announcement of Dr. Doom. So they're really going into the 90s nostalgia feel with this packaging. I was big into this Spider-Man line back in the day. I absolutely loved it. I love the cartoon, just like the X-Men animated series. Both are on Disney+. I put them on every once in a while. That's my Spider-Man. You know, people think of 70s animated Spider-Man or whatever. My Spider-Man is that 90s cartoon. That is when I jumped into the comic books, the Carnage, Venom, all that kind of stuff. So this is my wheelhouse. I absolutely love it. And I love the packaging. It just screams 1990, Toys R Us. I'm in there buying them, using my allowance, using money to pick these kind of figures up. And that's what I did. So very cool, very smart of Hasbro to give us this kind of packaging. I hope we get a G.I. Joe packaging like this in the future in the 6-inch scale. That's a little off of this line, but very, very cool. Hasbro's done it again. I love this. I hope we're going to get Series 2, Series 3, and so forth. I would love to see the animated series version of Smythe. Rhino, one of the few Build-A-Figures I do not own. I slept on that. That's my bad. I am hoping we get a Rhino in this series. That would be awesome as a fan channel exclusive. I know it would make a lot of Build-A-Figure collectors mad, but it's been enough time. I'm okay with it. I would love to see a Rhino. There's just tons of people. J. Jonah Jameson, the Chameleon. Guys we need updated ones or we need new ones of. That just goes on and on in the Spider-Man universe. It would be a great way to get them out there. So that's a little discussion at the top. But let's go through each one. And we're going to start with Spider-Man. No better person to start with the first one than Spider-Man. So check out that packaging. You guys probably remember that packaging out there. Just awesome. This one is one of the harder ones to find. I'm surprised, but not surprised. Marvel has not done as good of a job, I feel, as they should on giving us the classic, traditional Spider-Man. We get him every couple of years or so. This is such an iconic character. He should probably be out there almost at all times for collectors, or not even collectors, kids out there. So it's very cool to get another Spider-Man. Comes with an extra head. Can't beat that. There's the packaging. Obviously, the packaging uniformity in the whole line. Superposable. Extra set of hands, extra head. Bitten by a radioactive spider. Peter Parker now possesses all the Arachnid's attributes. He's the amazing Spider-Man. Shows the whole lineup on the back, of course, and the removable, switchable heads. Like I said, the packaging just screams 1990s. Let's open it up. Let's dig in. A little tough to get in there. We're getting there. There it is. See you later. Oh, watch out. Spider-Man in the plastic. Looking cool. This is my Spider-Man. This is my classic Spider-Man. This is the one I knew and loved and grew up with. Extra set of hands. Not going to really dwell on that and talk about that. 2 fists. The extra head. Really, the extra head. We'll put them together. See you later. The extra head is not that different. Boy, that's I don't know about that. Really hardly any difference in those 2 heads. I don't know if it really makes a difference to anybody which head you put on there. I don't know. This Spider-Man's superposable. He's got to be. He's got the butterfly joints. That's the big one we know, where he can move back and forth on the joints. Obviously, all the other traditional articulations there, the wrists, the elbows, the shoulders, the head, the joints, the waist, the ab crunch, the thighs, the ankles, the foot, the knees, all that fun stuff. Superposability, and that's what you need out of your Spider-Man. I have a couple other Spider-Mans like this. I can't even count how many, but I can always use one. Different dioramas, different setups. Spider-Man over here, a Spider-Man over here. It's okay with me. You got to have Spider-Man in this line. I would love to see that armored suit Spider-Man, that gray armored suit Spider-Man from back in the day. There's another one that'd be great in this line. Hopefully we get that. But there it is, Spider-Man. No paint issues, no issues at all. I'm looking on the back. You know, it's tough to get that webbing just right, and they slam dunk. So no issues, no complaints. Love it. We need a Spider-Man like this all the time. So that's Spider-Man. Let's move on to the next one. All right, next up in the Spider-Man line, we got Electro. Now, early thoughts for me when I saw this line being announced, I said, that Electro figure, that's going to be the hard one. That's going to be the one that we'll never find. It's going to be the hardest to find. But lo and behold, we're about 2 months into this line. This one has become a peg warmer in my area. I'm very surprised at that. I thought this one would fly off the shelves. Just goes to show you, you never know what truly will be the peg warmer, what's going to resonate with the people out there. And this Electro, obviously in my area, is not, because I could pick up probably 10 of these if I wanted to today. You tell me in the comments, if you guys are collecting this and clocking this line, is Electro hanging around your area? I just find that very strange, as this is an older Hasbro that's been updated. I did not have the old one, so I was very happy to get this one. I was playing the pick and choose game back then with this one. Never picked it up, so this is my Electro. I'm happy to have this one. There is that Jamie Foxx movie edition one. I don't have that one. I didn't like that one at all. So this is my Electro. I'm very happy to have this one in the lineup. Look at that. Very cool packaging. We talk about it all the time, but I love that 90s graphics from the cartoon. Just, that's what I want in my Electro. That is for sure. There's the back. What do we got? As the villain Electro, Max Dillon wields full control over electricity in his never-ending quest to defeat Spider-Man. Good luck with that quest there. I love the extra set of hands on this one. You look, it's got the shocking hands out there. That is a cool feature that we love. I'm not sure if these hands have been used before. I think they've been used before. Maybe the eel, I think it was, in Marvel Legends. We also got this with the Emperor Palpatine in Hasbro around last Christmas. I think it was an online exclusive. So very similar hands, maybe just a smudge difference. Let's open him up here. I tell you, I hate opening up this pretty package. If I had more room, this would be a great look on the wall, having these all across the wall. Oh, it'd be awesome. Just don't have the real estate for it, so I don't do that. The backing on all these, we didn't talk about last time. They got that New York skyline back there. Very cool. The purple, just love this packaging. See you later. All right, Max Dillon, Electro. There it is. That green and yellow really pops. I'm an Oakland A's fan. I'm sure a lot of you guys are Oakland A's fans. How could you not be in the 80s when I was growing up? He's got the Oakland A's colors. Like a young Jose Canseco in here. Let's pop the hands out. I think you got to display them with the crazy hands, don't you? See you later. I mean, I don't know how you can't. This is one I could see paint issues being on, and there is no paint issues on here. Hasbro has been knocking it out of the park on the paint applications as of late, at least on the figures I've been picking up. Hopefully I just didn't jinx myself for farther down in the line as we go through, but I've had a lot of problems with Mattel figures the last month or so. But this is awesome. This is a great figure. I love this figure. I love Electro. I love the 90s cartoon aspect. I love the extra hands. This is probably one of my top 10 Marvel Legends figures this year. I'd have to put the pen to the paper and look through them all, but this one really stands out for me. It stood out when I first saw the prototype announced. Typical articulation, just like all the others. I just love the colors on this one. Electro's a classic villain, so I cannot wait to get him on display with the rest of my Marvel Legends. So there you go. There's Electro. Slam dunk winner figure. It's a must-have. Hey, you guys in Midwest, pick this off the shelves. We don't want to see this one peg warm. Let's move on to the next one. All right, next up in the line is kind of a sleeper one we did not get in the original series, and that's Gwen Stacy or Mary Jane, depending how you want to play it, as it comes with both heads, which is a feature that I absolutely love, but my wallet hates. Because as you can see right here, I had to buy two of them. I can have one as Mary Jane, one as Gwen Stacy. But Here's a little trick for you guys that are collecting G.I. Joe, and this is what I'm probably going to do. We'll see how it looks. If you're collecting the new G.I. Joe Classified series, a lot of people don't like that Scarlet head, including myself. A lot of people have used different heads from Black Widow, etc. I was thinking I'll use one of these extra Mary Jane heads on my Scarlet. So I might try that. We'll see where that goes. I got to figure something out. That Scarlet's just not working for me. I'm not one to usually switch heads like that, but this is a great opportunity to do it. But I got 2 of these. I'm only going to open one today. We don't need to open both. But there it is. Gwen Stacy in the package. If you guys know the history of Spider-Man or the cartoon, she played a big role in the cartoon, as did Mary Jane, though, however. So a really cool 2-in-1. For some people, you know, that's great. That's all you need. You can switch the heads back and forth to fit your narrative, whatever you're up to. But very cool that Hasbro would go that extra mile for us. Because you could easily see a year from now, hey, we're just going to release this same body with a little different paint scheme and a different head. Bam, new figure. Instead, they gave us 2-in-1. So that's got to be a little bit applauded, I feel. There's the backing. Maybe I'll read the back of this one in a foreign language. What do you guys think about that? Maybe not. A bright student with a keen scientific mind. Gwen Stacy is girlfriend to Peter Parker. Short and sweet. Obviously, the head switch off. We saw the back, everything, the rest of the crew. Very cool. I love this. I could see, hopefully in the next series, maybe we get the J. Jonah Jameson. That would be a good one in the similar vein to this one. I've always wanted a J. Jonah Jameson figure. I could see them re-releasing the Chameleon with a bunch of different heads. Maybe that's something they would do. See you later. I didn't notice all these. I guess I was too caught up about the heads. I never saw the other accessories. So look at this. Going the extra mile here. Obviously got that Mary Jane head to the side. You got a purse. Then you got the Daily Bugle down there with a great touch. And then Midtown High School, a little notebook there. So very cool. You get 2 figures. You get this, a little cool accessories to go along. I'm all about it. I think this is a slam dunk. So a nice little plastic accessory. There's the Mary Jane head or Scarlet. We'll figure out what we're going to do with that down the road. We got the book and the... I love it. I love it having these extra accessories. See you later. The Daily Bugle rolled up paper. I'm sure we can find use for that. Maybe the book, find use for that as well. Really, really cool. I like it. Same hands we've had with, I think, Jean Grey and a bunch of others, which I'm okay with. You got to reuse some of that stuff. But I think there's a lot of customizers out there that are probably salivating at this one. A basic female street clothes body, you could turn this into a lot of different figures. You could pop this on Jean Grey head on here, and it's a young Jean Grey at school. There's a lot of stuff you can do. A Rogue head. There's a lot of mixing and matching. I haven't researched, but I would love to see if anybody's done some of that stuff, and I'm sure they have. I see the little stamp there from the factory right on the thigh. That's kind of annoying. It's kind of covered. It's just peeking out a little bit. I wish they would have put that on the foot or something. That's a real nitpick, but it is what it is. But there it is. That is Gwen Stacy. All right, next up in the line, we've got Peter Parker. As we all know, the secret identity of Spider-Man, of course. Another cool figure. We've talked about the packaging. Look at the head in there, accessories, all that stuff. This harks back to the old school Peter Parker, which was a favorite of mine back in the 90s line. That Peter Parker wore many hats for me. He was obviously Peter Parker with my Spider-Man toys and stuff. He was also, in my wrestling line, a guy in the crowd, sometimes the bell keeper, sometimes an usher that would get beat up. We used him in a lot of different angles and stuff like that, so it was a great utility player. Also going to be a great utility player to this day and age. If I come across some of these cheap clearance, let's say 6 months from now, I will buy some of these and put these in my arena setup as somebody in the arena watching the show. There's a lot of utility things you can do with this, and I can see people popping the head off this and maybe putting a Scott Summers head on here and using this as a street clothes Cyclops, for example. Very similar to the Gwen Stacy. I think that's a customizer's dream a little bit. Let's show you the back here. Peter Parker. Let's read the back. Peter Parker es un estudiante universitario y foto es perdido que un secreto es el incredible hombre araña. Or Peter Parker is college student photojournalist who is secretly the amazing Spider-Man. So there you go. Let's open him up. See you later. There he is. Extra head. camera. You know, his original one had the camera with the string that hung around his neck, but very cool. I don't know if we've got a camera accessory. It's been a long time if we have. Pop him out. Pop this. See you later. I very much like the extra head. Kind of the spider senses tingling type thing. Very cool. Now, first gripe I see is, and I noticed it on the prototypes back in the day and in the package, I do not like these glasses. I think the glasses are way too big. To me, he looks like Bruce Banner. Was it Incredible Hulk #1, maybe? That's who it looks like. He's got those big bug eye glasses. I think they come off, though. Well, I don't know. I think they come off, but they seem to be glued, so I think you can take them off if you want to. I think I will leave them on. I don't want to break them off because I don't think they're going back on. So I'll leave this glasses on. Like I said, I'll probably buy another one. We'll see. I can play around. There he is. Small, a smaller male figure, but very cool. I think this is a must-have in the line. You're paying homage to that classic Spider-Man. You have to have this one in the lineup. Camera, like I said, the extra head. I could see people using that. All around cool figure. I would say a must-have because this could go in a lot of different lines. Good for customizers. Put it in a wrestling figure collection. A lot of different hats this one could wear. So that's Peter Parker. Let's move on to the next one. All right, next up in the line is another superhero in the line, and that's Daredevil. We've had a lot of Daredevils over the years. We've had his traditional outfit, his black outfit, some variants, some box sets, but we haven't had this one. And if I remember right, this harks back to Marvel superheroes, and maybe even was the Spider-Man line, but somewhere around this time frame, he had an outfit like this in the Toy Biz line. So it's a cool Easter egg back to the past. Another way to get a new Daredevil out there. Comes with an extra head. That extra head is pretty cool because you can pop that Peter Parker we just talked about. You can pop that head on there. You got lawyer Matt Murdock. A lot of mixing and matching of parts you can do for some easy customs and some new figures if you want to. There's Daredevil there. He's kind of got his armored Daredevil suit. He's got his batons there, the extra head we talked about, extra hands, extra cuffs, a lot of accessories with this one. A lot of people are saying this is the sleeper figure of the set. A lot of people like this one a lot more than they thought they would. Me included. I thought this was kind of a throwaway one. It's really cool in person. Although he is blind, Matt Murdock possesses superhuman senses and courage as the superhero Daredevil. So not a lot of explanation there. I don't know if you need some explanation. Why are you hanging out with Spider-Man? Why are you in this line? I don't know. Just me, though. See you later. Oh, watch out. See you later. Very cool. Love the head scan, the face. I don't know what you want to call it, but the eyes on this Daredevil are really awesome. He's got his two batons, of course. Like I said, you can have the Peter Parker turn into lawyer Matt Murdock. There's the Matt Murdock head. Not too different than the Cyclops head that we've had in the past either. But just another accessory opportunity out there for you. The more you can get out of your figures, the better. It's a great value. It's all about value. Gotta get a deal, some might say. Maybe just me, but I'm always looking for a hot deal. Get these hands out, get these cuffs out. Maybe taped in here. They take great care on these Marvel Legend figures. See you later. So, okay, I was wondering why the extra set of cuffs. Well, you can see he's got the cuffs with the batons attached to him. So if you want to go old school way with him holding the batons, you can do that. So just another options out there for you. A little bit of a straight re-release of a prior Daredevils that we've had before, just with some extra shoulder gauntlets and obviously a cooler chromer kind of metallic armored suit. But another must-have. I actually like this one. They were right. They said this is the sleeper one of the bunch. Totally true. Very, very much a sleeper figure. I think this one is one that'll be worth something down the line. I think a lot of people might sleep on this and really have some regret and come back looking for this one. So very, very cool. Much better than anticipated. There it is, Daredevil. Nice to have another hero in the lineup with all these villains. But there it is. There's Daredevil. Let's get on to the next ones. All right, next up, we've got the Green Goblin. So I think back to the old 90s versions of this Green Goblin. I loved it. I love the kind of neon-y green color he is. You can see him right there. I love that bright green. Really popped as a kid. It pops now. Very, very cool figure. Comes with his glider, of course. Comes with a pumpkin. And then the awesome, you've got an extra head, which Norman Osborn, geez, flew out of my brain there for a sec, but you get the Norman Osborn head. Once again, you got that Peter Parker body with a little customizing, maybe a little paint. There's your, you can make a figure out of that too. So there's so much to customize and do in this line. I love it. One of the few who know that Spider-Man is really Peter Parker. The Green Goblin is perhaps the web slinger's greatest foe. So a lot of history with Green Goblin, the whole Gwen Stacy saga, all that fun stuff. There is the back, very similar to the others. Really crazy bug eyes on this one. Let's open it up and show it a little closer. Jeez. Whoa, there goes the glider off the table. Don't want to lose that. See you later. See you later. A lot of reuse. This is basically a straight up repaint of a prior Green Goblin. Even down to the glider we got with the Hobgoblin and stuff before. You've seen this. We've seen it before many a times. The pumpkin, a straight re-release. The Norman Osborn head is something new. But look at the eyes on that guy. Man, just menacing eyes. I do like this, though. I don't know what it is. It's crazy that we're getting such direct repaints. But they feel new. They feel classic. You know, see you later. People gripe about repaints and stuff. And it's a lot of it is warranted. But things like this, I guess, being the 90s and ones I had as a kid, the correct color scheme as I had as a kid, it's just something about that is so cool to me. I absolutely like this figure a lot. We've seen it as the Hobgoblin. We've seen it reused. They've got their money's worth. Let's put it that way. There he is out of the package. And what did I bring with me? I brought the last one, which in my mind, without seeing them side by side, I thought, oh, this is going to be my Green Goblin. But boy, this is a sleeper one. The darker one, more sinister, more evil. Obviously, the same figure, just painted differently. That's what paint can do, people. Can make things totally different. I don't know. I like them both. Different heads on here, that's for sure. So it's a different head, same body, different paint. The cartoon one, menacing, but boy, this one looks like something straight out of some Nightmare Fuel, that's for sure. Both are solid. I'm happy to have both in my collection. Just because I got this doesn't mean I'm getting rid of this. I think there's use for both of them in my setup, in my display, that's for sure. So there it is. There is Spider-Man's biggest foe, the old Green Goblin. And that concludes the regular portion of the set. Now let's get into the fan channel exclusive figures for the set. Alright, fan channel Mysterio exclusive. I had this pre-ordered with Amazon. November 4th was the date forever. A weekend or so ago, I was just happy to go and bam, books a million. And there he was, hanging on the peg. I said, well, I'm canceling my Amazon pre-order. I'll pick it up right now, the exact same price. Win-win. So I got this one much earlier than anticipated. Very happy to get this Mysterio. However, I'm going to say first off, before opening this off, this was the weak link to the set with me. I said to myself when this came out, much like the Doctor Doom Fantastic Four throwback, I'm not getting it. This Mysterio is not different enough. But time in and time out, I see something on the shelves that's new. I get excited. I got to pick it up, and that's what I did with this Mysterio. So we'll see if I just totally wasted, let's see, $30. No, not 30. $22. Sorry. Jeez, I was going to say 30 bucks. $22. Fan channel exclusive. These are to your comic book stores, your hobby stores. Possibly GameStop, I think, has this. Amazon. You're just not going to find this at Target and Walmart, basically, is what that means. Marvel's Mysterio, a cloud of smoke heralds the arrival of the villainous mastermind who uses the art of illusion against Spider-Man, Mysterio. And I believe Mysterio was in the last Marvel Spider-Man movie, I think so. So he's got some play as of late. Boy, that came off the card way easier than anticipated. Oh well, I'm opening it either way. See you later. And then we got the instructions. See you later. Nobody cares. I mean, this is a straight up repaint. I mean, this is, I don't know. We talked about that Green Goblin being a repaint. This one is even more so, if you ask me. Pop him out. Come on. There it is. See you later. We've had these smoke effects before. They were a darker color. This is more of like a translucent, kind of an aqua type thing. So I think these are a little bit better color-wise. But the figure is pretty much the same. This is the comic Mysterio. Let me see here. Whoa. Holy cow. So this was a little Easter egg for me that I was not aware of. I I saw that under there. So he's got his normal head, but it's like obviously clear translucent. But I was not aware that was an option here. You got his head stuck to his cape. You got a peg. It all slides up in there and connects in. So this one just gained points for me. Having that in there, I'm not going to display him with that head, but it's just a cool little Easter egg that I had no clue about. I must have totally flew under my radar. But there's your traditional Mysterio. The very smoky skull head. Let's see. I got here right next to me. Here's the last comic Mysterio. You can see the differences, the repaint. However, this one, you can see a skull head back in there inside there, where this is really cloudy inside. But both very similar down to everything. Just the paint is different. That's the difference there. Here, speaking of a movie, there's the movie Mysterio compared to this. So a lot of reuse. A lot of Mysterios we've had the last couple of years. The movie one's probably my least favorite. This one jumped up pretty big in my books when being able to take that helmet off. That is a pretty cool feature, I think. And maybe that head could be used for something else down the line. So there it is. There is Mysterio, Fan Central exclusive. We got one left, and it's a heavy hitter. There's a lot of discussion to talk about that one. So let's talk about the Kingpin. All right, the final one of the set, the Kingpin, another Fan Central exclusive, only available at hobby shops, Amazon, basically everywhere that's not Walmart and Target is what I always like to say. This one I got at JCD and Hobby in Des Moines area hobby store. Came in earlier, just like that Mysterio. The Kingpin was supposed to ship November 4th. Got it this week. This is the heavy hitter price point of the bunch, though. This was, almost $40, I think. Yeah, $40 figure. So a little pricey, especially if you have the previous incarnation of Kingpin. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But I wanted to show, here's that extra Gwen Stacy. You can see the packaging size difference. Look how much smaller this is. This is a big card. Very similar to this one, but magnified, much bigger. Very reminiscent of the Incredible Hulk figures that we've had over the last few years, coming to the retro ones. A lot like that. So there's the Kingpin. You can see the size difference. I'm going to read the back first. Wilson Fisk ruthlessly rules New York City's underworld with cunning and keen intellect. A lot of folks were very unhappy with this one coming out, as the Build-A-Figure was pretty, I don't know if hard to get's the right word, but pretty sought after. A lot of people spent a lot of money building that Build-A-Figure just for a year and a half later to get this released straight off. Upset a lot of people. I don't get too mad about those kind of things. I mean, it's the toy business at the end of the day. I get it, we don't want that, but they did make it different. It's different than the last one. We're going to show them together at the end. But a lot of people missed Kingpin. A lot of people were screaming for it. Kind of like I'm screaming for Rhino. I want a Rhino figure. I didn't get that Build-A-Figure. I wanted to re-release Rhino in something like this. Hopefully they do. But a very cool figure. The extra head, the head on it, I guess, is the one I'm going to use. I love that beat-up head. I think that is a cool touch. Like a lot of these, it's a repaint, but we got some extra stuff with it. So let's open this guy up. This is a big, heavy hitter figure. Let's get him. Oh, my gosh. It's a battle. I feel like I'm fighting a shark in the water. Big one. See you later. Very cool. Very, very cool. You know, a lot of people, there was talk. I'm not the biggest Kingpin historian. I know him. I read the comics and stuff, but I really don't keep up with his outfits. But it sounds like this is really not based off the comic book. This is, or the cartoon, excuse me. This is based off of more of like the late 70s, early 80s comic book. So I found that to be a little bit interesting. But very cool. Look at that packaging. I love the beat-up head scan the best. Comes with his little scepter cane type deal down there. Just like the other ones came with, except this one is painted brown instead of black. Pop that out. Pop that head out. Oh my gosh. See you later. This is a big head. A big head and a big figure. Totally together. I love the classic purple. I love the classic colors. Just a great figure. Let me look at the heads here, see if we've got some difference. There he is. Look at that. And then you got the head, of course, the extra head, and the scepter. But a big hulking figure. Was a great Build-A-Figure. Let me pull out mine. So I had the Build-A-Figure prior. I got this just like everybody else did. I bought it as I was going and got it with the Spider-Man line. That was a very strong lineup, I thought, as well. So there it is. You can kind of see them side by side. You can see the black and the all white. It's got the orange and the blue kind of, is it an ascot? Is that what they call those things? So there's enough difference. There's enough meat on the bone to make these different to me. Big hulking figure. You guys know I love the larger figures. I think a Build-A-Figure always needs to be a bigger figure. We don't want a regular size figure as a Build-A-Figure, that's for sure. I did spend money though. I don't know if this is a gripe or not, but I think a lot of you guys out there, let's say you're on the fence about getting this, I would get this, use this as your Kingpin. If you have this one and you bought the Professor X figure back in the day, it comes with that Shadow King head. You can make yourself a Shadow King. So it makes it an easier opportunity to get Shadow King. I built my Shadow King. Walmart had clearance at the time. The Spider-Man Wave was on clearance, like $9 a figure. I got all those figures for $9. One of them I got to skip because I didn't need the head because I had the Shadow King head. So I built my own Shadow King figure out of Kingpin. I had Caliban from the X-Men Wave. He was on clearance for $5, so I bought that and I took his hands, and that's what I used. And then you got the Shadow King head that came with Professor X. So technically I have 3 Kingpins in my lineup. Whoa, he's falling over. I have 3 Kingpins when you count that Shadow King. I think everybody should get a Shadow King. I think everybody should try to buy this figure. I think this is the definite Kingpin. When I think Kingpin in my head, this is the Kingpin I think of. Nothing wrong with this Kingpin. It is very solid, just like this one, and great to have Shadow King. So there it is. 3 Kingpins, the new one, the old one, and a Shadow King, which you can easily make. Let's wrap up the whole line. I'm going to put them in order of my favorite to least favorite, and we'll finish this video up. Well, there you have it, guys. The retro Toy Biz inspired Spider-Man line from Marvel Legends Hasbro. An awesome line. It lived up to my expectations and actually exceeded my expectations in a lot of ways. This was a very difficult set to put in order of favorite to least favorite, as these are all very strong. And number 1 and number 8, number 1 and number 8, there's not that much difference between them. Very, very strong line, which I like a lot of different things of. Electro, the clear number 1 for me, though. I didn't have an Electro figure. I love this representation of the character. That is a strong number 1. Daredevil, a sleeper one. I didn't expect this one to be so high for me at number 2. Green Goblin, same thing. I love that green paint. I think this one really pops. The Kingpin, I love the old school look to him, so he's right in the middle. Spider-Man is Spider-Man. We've had Spider-Mans just as good as this, but it's always good to get a new Spider-Man, especially the classic Spider-Man. Then Peter Parker. I'm not sure about the eyes, but the utility body that we have here, plus just having a Peter Parker figure is great. Same thing with Gwen Stacy. You can easily switch these two around with the Mary Jane head. Awesome there. Mysterio, probably the worst repaint of the bunch, but that extra Easter egg of having the real head in there with the removable globe, I guess, I find that to be really cool. So all in all, a very strong Marvel Legends set. I do anticipate, I guess you would say, as we've seen with a lot of these retro sets, going on clearance, being able to get these fairly cheap down the line. So if you're a little smarter than me and you can play that long game, play the long game. You'll probably be able to get these on clearance. These are all great figures. I will definitely pick up another Peter Parker if I'm fortunate enough to find them. Maybe even another Gwen Stacy. There's stuff we can do with these figures to make them other figures, use them in the crowd of a wrestling arena, for example, or swap different heads on them. There's a lot of stuff they can do. I can see this Gwen Stacy, you pop the head off, you put the Baroness's head on. There's Baroness in disguise, or Zarana. There's a lot of stuff there. So a strong, strong lineup. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. You guys tell me in the comments. You pick this one up, you pick all these up, you're going to get some of them, you're going to pick and choose, you're totally skipping, you play in the long game. Which one's your favorite, which one's your least favorite? Lots to talk about on these Marvel Legends Spider-Man figures, that is for sure. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We're unboxing all kinds of stuff, be it Marvel Legends, be it Star Wars. If this is your first time here, there's tons of other videos to check out. So please do that, and don't forget to subscribe as always. And as always, for Mysterio, Gwen Stacy, Peter Parker, Spider-Man, Kingpin, Green Goblin, Daredevil, Electro, I'm Kyle, and I'll see you guys all real soon.